before him. Why? Because he knows all about you. No sense in going to him complaining when you're in worship. Leave that to praise. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? When you get to worship, that's where you need to hear from God. So stop talking. Turn to your neighbor and say, hey, when you're in worship, shut up. Two principles, get up to it right here. Listen. What's wrong with my worship? One, we try to worship God without an invitation. And the second thing that's wrong with we can't get our worship on is because when we get the invitation, when we get there, we don't follow instructions. And I want to share with you that is because from this point on, when you get into your worship, it's in the holies of holies with God. It's between you and God. It might be in a public place, but it's a private ceremony. I think you caught that. It might be in a public place in church, but it's a private ceremony. Meaning that it's between me and my God. And listen, when my worship is going on, it doesn't matter because he knows all about me. He made me, and I'm prepared to submit to him and say, Lord, use me. As I worship, as I empty myself and let the Lord fill me. Well, let me go on and just leave you here. We've got to get to our music part. But let me tell you what needs to happen in order for us to get to our worship. And I'm going to leave you here. Listen. I'm a weekend warrior, and I like to play softball. I'm not that good at it because I keep getting injured in my older age. But I remember I was with my daughter, and we were at a house, and we had like 17 flights of stairs, and I had messed up my knee playing softball, and you know, I was hobbling from the kitchen to get to the stairs, and my little daughter, Morgan, she was about 4 years old, and she had a habit. Her daddy would always carry her up the stairs. But on this day, I couldn't carry her because my leg hurt, and I couldn't make it up those stairs. So she ran before me, and she was like, Daddy, pick me up. Pick me up. And I was like, no, baby, I can't pick you up today. Daddy can't do this. Pick you up. She said it again. Daddy, pick me up. I'm like, no, baby, I can't pick you up. Can't pick you up. Come on. And you know, children are persistent. Yes, she was. And at that point, I was starting to get irritated. You know, old school was in me. It's like, listen, I told you once or twice already. Stop asking me. I can't carry you up the stairs. I can't do this now. And I love you, but you know, she carried her on the stairs. Then I got upset. And I was calling for her mama. Jenny! She couldn't hear me. I'm hollering out because I'm frustrated at this point. And I'm like, girl, I can't do this. Daddy can't do this. And she just stopped all of a sudden. And I was making my way up the stairs, and I looked down at her. And the strangest thing happened, y'all. When I looked back at her, she didn't say a word. All she did was she just lifted her hands, looked into her daddy's eyes, didn't say nothing. Hands continued to be lifted. I made my way, y'all, down the stairs. Picked her up and said, come on, baby. It's going to take a while, but Daddy got you. But let me leave you here. The moral of the story is, when you want to get your worship on, just lift your hands.
church all over. There are many of us that just need to know that God says, come unto me all ye that labor and are heavy laden. I'll give you rest. He said, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for my yoke is easy and my burdens are light. This word is wrong with my worship. Put it in perspective. What do I need to do to make sure that my worship is received by God? He said the first thing is you need to know who God is. You can't just give the preacher your hand, but you've got to give God your heart. Won't you stand to your feet? And if there are those that are here that want to just say, God, I want you to pick me up.